Thank you. Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to the EMSN.
I'm Brock.
I'm Donovan, and we are your hosts for this week.
Our boys and girls basketball team are headed east to go up against UConn. Make sure to go out and support your dogs. The boys team is currently 9-8, and the girls team's 15-3.
On another note, we discussed with some people that ride and tame horses at our school.
We sat down with Jordan, Isabel, and Olivia to speak with them about their equestrian journey.
Welcome back to EMSN. I am your host, Shane, today, and I'm here with 3 equestrians in our school. What's going on, guys?
Hi.
How's it going, y'all?
So all 3 of us do different styles of riding.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
All right, let's start with this dude.
My name is Jordan.
Yeah.
I do a Western riding, where we ride in a Western saddle. It's like 8 people to a team. You race against 8 other people that's on another team. You go around. You got to go around 4 barrels. The first one, put it in the middle, bro, wins.
Oh, nice.
Do you think you can ever, reach the rodeo with that or not? Because, the Houston rodeo is huge.
Well, that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to get it in, the big rodeos, like the Houston rodeos, stuff like that. So,
wait,
I
is
think
that
one day.
the only event you do in rodeos?
Well, yeah, right now it is. Well, but I'm going to start back, bull riding and stuff.
Ooh, man, that'd be crazy, especially in, Houston. Shout out H-Town,
Do you have
huge.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you have a show outfit?
Yeah, we all have to have the same shirts on.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Well, I know because me and her do English style of riding.
Yeah.
I go over fences. She does saddle seat.
Mm-hmm. Saddle seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
It's
for it.
basically where you have to basically make the horse look really pretty. Hey, so the fancy prancing. So.
Oh, so it's kind of like a show horse event?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds very English. That does sound very English styled.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, loud person?
Crazy. So I go over fences. I do both the hunters and the jumpers, which the jumpers is kind of what you see in the Olympics. They're trying to beat the clock. They are trying to go clear over fences. I don't jump nearly as high Olympians because that's terrifying. But that's more of the jumper half of it is trying to go as fast as you can. It doesn't matter how you look as long as you are in the time allowed and you keep all the fences up. But then in the hunters, where I've been focusing more of my time lately, it's about being calm, cool, and collected, being rhythmatic, and making everything look nice and letting your horse show off.
Oh.
So in other words, you 2 do the dangerous sport while I just sit here and yeah.
Yeah. So, when you knock down a fence, do it add time to the clock?
So in the hunter ring, if you knock a fence, that puts you at an automatic 50 scale, so it's a score out of 100 in the hunter ring.
Uh-huh.
But really, a good score in the hunter ring is a mid 80. Which doesn't sound very high, but to get in the 90s, you actually have to be perfect in riding a $300,000 horse that doesn't miss a step.
What's the highest score you've gotten?
I don't want to talk about that.
No. We
I've-
talk about that. What's the highest score you gotten?
I got an 83.
That's good.
That's not that bad.
It's not that bad, especially because my horse is not a hunter horse. He's cosplaying as a hunter horse currently. No, but in the jumper ring, if you knock a fence down, you get 4 faults added. So say if there's a second round, like a jump off, which is a shorter version of the course, and you want to go as fast as you can. But if you knock over a fence in the first round, you can't go on to the jump off.
Am I the only one who didn't know that there was horseback riding and stuff in the Olympics?
That's crazy.
Yes.
You are the only one. Have you not seen Snoop Dogg?
No.
Snoop Dogg literally will show up in his little riding outfit to go and watch.
Dog, I be watching basketball, swimming, and volleyball. That's all I watch in the Olympics.
There's 3. There's just in the Olympics. There's dressage. There's what she does, and then there's jumping. Thank you. And then there's
Eventing. Eventing is, not that any of us do eventing, but eventing is where there's 3 events. There's a dressage portion, which is kind of what she does, like saddle seat,
Yeah.
where you want to make your horse look really pretty, except they have to do specific movements.
and to music. They basically you make them dance.
Yeah, as Snoop Dogg says, it's horse crip walking.
Crazy.
No, that's literally a whole thing.
So talk about y'all's peak moments. So what's your highlight while horseback riding?
In general or one specific.
It can be a moment. It can be in general. Up to you.
So can I answer both?
Sure.
Go for it.
So in general, I I like getting to try out different horses. Like, oh, this horse has like a personality where like he's like really like steady and really like, oh, random person is riding me. That's fine. I'll do my part. And then or like another horse who his name is Stilts and he's like 5 years old. So he's basically like in between being a baby and a full grown horse. And he's basically like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll just mimic all the horses I can find, even if there are the bad horses. So I like seeing their different personalities. And then to be more like specific, there was one show I was at where I was riding this horse. Her name's Mia, and she's she's like those types of horses that like would spook at a bag or like that. And we were
Valid.
yeah. And we went around, and I thought, like, I'd done terrible because she'd basically been like, I will not listen to you. I will keep my head up to, like, the highest degree it can go. And I was just like, no, don't do that. But then they called, like, out our places, and I got first, and it was really cool. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. What about you?
Well, so me and my horse, we transitioned into the hunter ring this year after doing the jumpers because of, like, a mental block. But hunters have a very easy pace. They're kind of lazy. They like really use their bodies. They bring their nose to their knees when they jump. But my horse isn't like that. So like we obviously don't always place the highest in classes because, well, he's just not that kind of horse. But he's trying his best, okay, guys? He tries his very, very best.
That's all that matters, honestly.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
But all season, we were placing fairly well, like a bunch of thirds, fourths, seconds out of fairly big classes.
Did you win?
Okay, I'm getting there, Shane. I'm getting there.
Hurry up.
But at our last show of the season back in November, we got our first championship in the 3-3 equitations.
Fire.
So don't tell him, but the equitations is based on how I ride, not how he looks.
Yeah,
Don't
really
tell
hard.
him that. Don't tell him that.
We're going to show him this video now.
No.
I'm going to make him despise you.
No. And then for our year-end awards, we ended up champion in the 3-foot lows and the 3-foot children's. So we had a fairly productive season for not winning at every show, but we had a lot of growth and like change. So sorry, that sounds so sappy, but it's like,
It's true, though.
yeah, it's like I created this horse in a sense. Like when I got him, he was only
Ego check. Holy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I created this horse. He was freshly imported from Europe. He was 7, and he'd been used to having a 7-foot German man manhandle him around. And I'm not a 7-foot German man.
Bro was like a 5'4" Canadian.
Yeah, exactly. So especially when I first got him, I was like barely 5 foot. And it's just like we've grown so much as a team. And yeah, it's just like it's exciting to see him flourish in a discipline that so many people said that he was never going to be good at. There's no scoreboard. Well, there kind of is.
50,
It depends at what show you go to.
It's a sport. There has to be a scoreboard
Yeah,
somewhere.
I think it might be. I don't know.
It depends on the venue that you go to. I mean, like if you're going to WEC, at least for jumpers,
I
there's
don't know
like
what that is, but okay.
World Equestrian Center.
Yeah.
It's in Florida.
It's really cool.
They have like big scoreboards that they put your name up on stuff.
See, I'm from the South. I'm not that far down south. Okay, Florida's not for me. I've tried. All right, what about you, man? What's your highlight?
Well, my highlight is, so we got 8 people on the team. I was the 8th person, like the last person. So if I didn't make the pass, we lost. I ended up making the pass and helping our team win, like the whole thing.
That's
Hey.
super cool.
So, like, what are the races like? No, that's kind of what I'm more interested in, honestly. No offense to y'all. Respect for y'all. But, like, yeah.
So rephrase the question you're trying to ask.
So, like, explain, like, the environment, like, the passes. Like, I don't know what that is.
Oh,
like,
okay. Like, you know how you racing on the track and you got one person in front of the
Oh,
other?
with, like, the
Oh,
baton
like a
or whatnot.
relay?
Yeah, you really, it's like the same thing. You got to hand the baton off after the burl. If you hand it off before the burl, you get disqualified,
Oh,
Yeah.
and you can't drop it.
So yeah, it's basically like running with a baton, but with horses and barrels.
Yes, and you can't cut in the middle of the burl because if you cut in the middle, you got to go back around the burl.
Nice.
Oh,
And that adds
nah.
to your time.
Well, it's not really a time. It's just the first one to get the baton in the burl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I know each of our disciplines have very different breeds of horses. So like what are the breeds of horses that you mostly
Well, mostly Pennix, quarter horse, and cow horses, thoroughbreds. It's really whatever kind of horse you take. It depends. Like if you like whatever kind of horse you like, you get to pick. And it's not kind of horse like.
yeah.
How about in saddle seat? Like, because isn't saddle seat like very specific movements they have to do, and they kind of carry their heads higher?
Yeah. So at least at my barn, mostly they have like American saddlebreds or like thoroughbreds. Hence, they do have 2 Morgans, and we love them very dearly. But they also are not always the smartest. So
Oh no,
Yeah.
I used to train this pony that was a Marab, which is a Morgan Arabian, and she was like 14.2 and could jump like 1.15 or like 3.6, and she
I don't know if that's good or not.
It is. It's kind of crazy. She was
Yeah.
like crazy. She won everything, but Morgans are something else. But I know at least in the jumper hunter world, the really top hunters are warm bloods, warm bloods are basically like if a quarter horse and like thoroughbred mix. Like they take a very like cool-blooded horse, like very calm horse, and they mix it with a thoroughbred.
Okay, so that's what we call appendix bred horses.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear horses and think of Ford Mustangs, or the Denver
Yeah,
Broncos.
from
I'm
Disney.
so uncultured in this. It's hilarious.
Yeah, no, but since moving here, thoroughbreds are a bigger circuit, especially in Oklahoma. There are so many, like a lot more. Like I never rode a thoroughbred before moving to Oklahoma, and like they're really cool horses. Every thoroughbred you sit on is completely different.
oh yeah,
I really don't like thoroughbreds like that because if you fall, that's a far fall.
yeah. That's
Like off a thoroughbred, that's
See,
a far fall.
yeah.
My warm blood is 17.3. And the thoroughbreds I ride are like 16.2. So I mean, it's fine.
Yes.
God, give me that height, bro. The Lakers need a center. Like, come on.
Should we explain like the hand height thingy?
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
so
What is
basic.
that? Yeah.
So basically, you measure from the horse's hoof to their withers, and you do it in
That was
hands.
a wither. I don't know what
The
that
wither
is.
is where their like neck connects to their back. It's like the little, like if you ever look at a horse and it goes like whoop, whoop. You know the little whoop
So like
over?
here's their
A
neck,
hump.
here's
The
your little
hump.
bump.
Yeah, that's basically where their withers is.
Yeah,
Like you don't measure to their top of their head.
Continue.
yeah. So like your horse is how?
My horse is 17.3, which each hand is 4 inches. So it goes like point, like 16.1, 16.2, 16.3, and then it would go to 17 hands. So like there are classifications when they're under 14.2 and a quarter. I believe they are considered ponies, and then 14 like 3 and up are horses. Except I call like 14.3 to like 15.3 ponies because
yeah.
like they're not really horses, but they ain't ponies.
Yeah, they're like in that weird little middle category.
Dang,
Yeah.
you got a pretty tall horse. I think my horse is 15 hands and a half. Like 15.
My first pony, he was quarter horse pain. He was like 15.2. He was on the smaller side. I just think it really depends on the breed of horse.
Yeah, me too. I think
Am
so.
I the only one who thought like ponies were like down here? Or
Well, there's
something?
mini ponies.
Yeah, there are.
Anything under 11 hands is considered a mini.
Yeah, it's different kind of pony. It's a Welsh pony.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All types of ponies.
We love ponies, but also they're kind of like the Chihuahuas, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
The Chihuahuas
Yeah.
of the horse world.
Hey, don't diss Chihuahuas, bro. We
No,
love Chihuahuas.
like- Yeah, no, ponies they kind of got little man syndrome.
Yeah.
They think they run the world. Like,
Short kings on top.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, my really big horse, he is penned next to this really tiny pony who's like 10,
Hands?
yeah, like 10 hands, like basically a mini. His name's Pepe. Sorry, that's like random information, but he's really cute.
Pepe?
Pepe.
That is dope name.
His show
super
name's
cute.
Pepe Le Pew.
Aw.
Okay, never mind. It's not lit
Okay.
anymore.
Anyways,
not
okay.
lit
So my
anymore,
big
never
horse
did.
and him will just be like he's on his back legs, like striking at my 17.3 horse, and like my big horse is like cowering away from him. Like he runs that pen. Okay. Little ponies, I love them. I'm too tall to ride ponies. Like my legs are
Me
way
too.
too long on them, but every pony is very special.
Yeah. I've ridden one pony I've ridden one pony, and his name's Ollie, and he was basically like I am small, so therefore I can go fast. Why is there this big weight on my back? I don't care. I will get you off so then I can go faster. And I was just like, please don't.
Yeah.
I'd like to live. Please don't.
Since I am on the taller side, but I'm still like short enough that I can ride them. It just looks a little funny. I do a lot of my coach's training rides on clients' ponies. Like, there's this one little pony. His name's Wishes. He thinks he's a stud. He yeah.
Bro
he
is a stud. With
like
a name
prances.
like that is stud.
Oh yeah.
Bro is him.
He is him, okay? So he went to pony finals this year, which is like the big time for ponies. Like, you have to qualify, and then it's like he didn't win, of course, because pony finals, those ponies are
Pretty good.
They're, like, top tier.
Oh yeah, they're really nice, and he's an appendix, I believe. Like, he's not the nicest. He's an appendix Welsh. But he's really cute. But
With a name like Wishes, man, I don't blame him for like that. Like, come on.
oh yeah,
What
no.
are these names?
But like, ponies are so interesting because like, I've ridden big horses that can barely jump 2.6, but then I see these little ponies that are jumping like 3 foot, and I'm like, my horse grunts over the top of 3.6 fences, and this little pony is just whipping through them. So
Not a care in the world.
I need to get a little pony and call him Galaxy Destroyer so that when people see him, he's just down there. You know,
Yeah.
he's just going to be
no,
living
you
the
don't
best
want
life.
a mini. Minis are mean.
Yeah.
Minis are so mean.
You don't
Good.
want to get kicked by a mini.
Oh no.
Or in general. You don't want to get kicked in
I've been
general.
kicked so many times.
Oh yeah. What's your guys' like worst like injury?
I think mine's like, it was this one horse we had that came to my barn that like we was training.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good horse. I got on it, it threw me all the way up. My head smacked his head and flew on the ground.
Yep.
That sounds awesome.
Nah.
No.
No.
That
My
sounds
mouth-
awesome.
My mouth was bleeding. I had black eyes, everything.
Yeah.
Horse fails always look really cool, but they're not cool to experience. They really no.
YOLO.
Yeah. How about you? What's your? Have you ever gotten injured?
So I haven't been kicked yet. Like, I've been like brushed by a kick before, but I have never been, full on kicked yet. But I have been I have been bitten before. It was by coincidentally the same horse I mentioned earlier, Mia. She was in a bad mood, and she was basically like I need to take my anger on someone. I will take it out on you. And I got like a big bite on my arm. It was not fun.
So like I've been bit, I've been kicked. I mean, I've been around horses for a long time. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
I have a little 5-year-old. Well, he's not little. He's like 17 hands. Yeah, 17 hands and a 5-year-old.
It's pretty tall.
Do not recommend. He was gelded late, so he still thinks he's a bit of a stud. So he has stud mentality. So like he'll just like rip me to the ground sometimes just for funsies.
Valid.
Yeah, but probably my worst injury would probably be either when I like broke my wrist or when I got concussed. When I broke my wrist, flew like 6 feet in front of my horse and like 5 feet in the air, and I literally went to the hospital after that, got my cast on, and the next day I got back on my horse because the only time I agree that riding isn't a sport is when my doctor tells me no sports for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get back on. I even went and tried horses with a cast on my arm.
But yeah, I rode a horse with a cast on my leg and arm before.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
How'd you do that? Because
It was hard. Like, I didn't just literally run the horse, but I just like rode it because,
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then when I almost got concussed was my horse was feeling real good after we did a really big fence, and he was proud of himself, so he was playing on the other side, and usually I can deal with him playing. But the arena we were in didn't have a fence around it, and there was a really big tree that we were going straight towards, and I'm like, not gonna happen. I do not feel like crashing into a tree today because that's gonna hurt. So I found a spot on the ground and I picked it and I came off, and he didn't realize I was there and he stepped on me, but as soon as he felt me, he like jumped over me and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mom." But I
That's
was
nice of him at least.
very concussed, had a hoof print on my back. He just ran back to his stall. He was like, "I'm done. I'm going to go eat now." And then when I came back out, I found my crop in the tree. And like my whip.
Oh.
Dang.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was confused on how it got into the tree, but
Yeah,
well.
because I I couldn't find it for like a week, and then I was like, oh, it's right there. Oh yeah, I still got back on. My coach was like, Isabel, you can't get back on. You always get back on.
Yeah, that's the number one rule. Get back on.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're like a full body cast, you get back on.
No, if you break your neck, we're not getting back on. Oh yeah, 100%. I'm trusting a 1,000-pound animal with my life.
That,
Kind of risky.
Yeah,
that has
especially.
their own mind and personalities. Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh yeah, no, that can't understand me. That's kind of annoying. Kind of hates me. Oh yeah, no, my horse takes every opportunity to make me look stupid.
Good.
Yeah, like I was at a really
It's you.
top-rated show, and it was the Welcome in the Morning, which is like the Grand Prix where like the big names ride. But so I was just walking him, taking him for a good hand walk, and of course I was like 5 foot at the time, and he's really big. And then he just starts doing circles around me, prancing, and it looked like my parents just bought me a really expensive horse that I couldn't handle. And it was in front of all these top riders, and I'm like, you're so embarrassing.
It's like the fact that like horses like have minds of their own and they're so big is like the both wonderful and terrible thing about them.
It's what makes them so dangerous.
Yeah, it's like because like on the one hand, I was with at one show. I had this one horse. His name's Fred, and he like keeps and he's like at a show like at home. Not the best. Like he's like, I will go as fast as I want. But at a show, he's like, okay, we're in front of 1 billion people. I will take care of this person. Doesn't matter who it is. I will take care of the person. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but
like a bond with a horse is kind of never broken. I mean, like, I trust my horse with my life, obviously, because my life is in danger every time I get on its back. But that's one really cool thing about horses is that it's like, it's not just like a piece of equipment
yeah,
that so many other sports have. It's not just a football. It's not just,
a skateboard.
yeah, no, it's a living, breathing animal that you form a connection with. Because if you're not connected with your horse, that shows. And your
Very
horse,
badly.
yeah, you need to trust your horse, and your horse needs to trust you.
Yeah.
And once you have that, then it's like an unforsaken bond.
Yeah, especially for like the more dangerous like sports like yours and hers.
Yeah. Then the horse is very expensive.
Oh yeah.
They're so expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people always complain to me that their sport's
Middle
really
class.
expensive. They're like, I just had to pay $400 for something. I'm like,
Have you tried horses?
the shoes that I wear out to the barn that like I go and trek through the mud in were like $550. So the ones that I'm like, I don't care about these ones. They can get ruined. It's fine. Like people don't realize that like, especially when you get into the higher levels, it's not just like you're taking lessons. It's like you're taking care of a horse, and then you also have to dress appropriately. Like I know in your sport, it's just like, oh, you have to wear the same shirt and stuff, but like
Well, you actually have to dress appropriately too, because like if you go in an arena not dressed for like
Properly.
that, they'll kick you out.
yeah,
Oh.
exactly. Like especially in the hunter ring too, they're very strict on what you wear. You have to wear tan breeches. You have to have a white shirt, a navy, black, brown, or gray coat, and your hair has to be up, and you have to look very pristine. They want all the horses to look like the same because it's more of setting a blank canvas for them to judge your horse rather than the rider.
Yeah.
But like everything, people don't realize the cost of riding until they're in it. They're like, "What do you mean I can go to my local stable and go in and have a lesson like for like $30?" I'm like, "That's so cool for you." But
Actually owning a horse and
competing,
yeah.
Owning the horse is the hardest part.
oh yeah, especially if you want a horse that's going to take you places. Like I know in my division right now, I'm competing against horses that are well into 6 figures. When my horse is definitely not well into 6 figures. Like I bought him for mid-5s, but like now he's worth more, but still it's like a different caliber of horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right, y'all. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for turning in for EMSN, and subscribe and like the video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan McKnight, Isabel Rasman, and Olivia Bullock for taking their time to talk with them.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
Thank you for watching EMSN. Have a good week, and don't forget to like and subscribe for new episodes.